Plant health, yield quality, and yield quantity are three things that I'm sure no farmer will be comfortable leaving to absolute chance. There are also three things that are directly affected by soil health and quality. So if you are a farmer and you're in the not so good habit of randomly planting your plants, please stop it. It's not a good practice. You're probably costing yourself a lot of yield by just doing that. Taking that couple of minutes maybe, or extra couple of maybe up to an hour of just ensuring that your soil is high quality can truly affect your yields for the better. So today I'm going to be taking you through our method of soil preparation and the soil base that we use for all of our crops, and the soil base that has been giving us a lot of good results. It's very cost effective, and I hope you enjoy this video. So now let me take you to where the journey begins. So behind me right now is the pile of manure. It used to be a whole lot bigger, but we've used a lot of it, and so this is what we have. About 20 bags of manure. Chicken manure. So this is from poultry. If you're wondering where we got this from, there's a poultry nearby where we live that sells manure. Of course, when you're doing animal farming, one of the byproducts of animal farming is, well, feces. It's not very useful to poultry farmers, since they're doing poultry, but for us crop farmers, it's very, very useful. So, and of course, because it's a byproduct, we get it so very cheap. Actually, it's less than $1 currently per bag that we get it for. So yeah, and they bag it up for us. I think we have about 20 or so bags under this heap, so that's about less than $20 of manure. So it's way cheaper than fertilizer. That's why we use manure especially. Now, of course, chicken manure isn't the only type of manure that you use. We have actually in the past used cow manure. However, the reason why we stuck with chicken, cow manure usually contains seeds. They eat a lot of grasses and stuff like that. So usually the seeds remain in the manure. And we find that when you plant it, you get a lot of plants that you're not really interested in. Of course, there are always going to be weeds on a farm. All right, let's be realistic. However, it's just like once you just put the manure down, so many things just start growing out of it. It's weird. It makes it difficult. But chickens, on the other hand, don't eat all those grasses and things. So their manure usually comes fresh. It's just poop, and you have less of those annoying random weeds to worry about. Now, if you notice, you probably haven't, so let me just show you. We do not use fresh manure. This is dried manure. It's been sitting here for a couple of months actually, so it's become so dry. And the reason why we don't use fresh manure is because it could actually be dangerous to your crops. So if you don't know, feces generally, it's processed food. So how does your body process food? It does that through acids, right? So yeah, sometimes residual acids remain in, actually, what am I saying? Fresh poop is acidic because it has those residual stomach acids from digestion. So it's very important to dry them so that the acids are in effect neutralized, so that they don't affect the seeds, because they can actually kill the seeds and prevent them from growing if you use fresh manure. That's why we dry it. So now that it's dry, of course it's outside. It's outside. It may rain, obviously, so we do not want the manure to be exposed to water, because the rain may cause moss to grow inside it, and just be wet and heavy to carry. But we want it dry actually, so that's why we cover it up with this black tarp just to keep the water away, and that's why it's still dry actually. That's why it's still dry. So now it's ready for the next phase of the soil preparation process. So when we need to move, when the manure is dry enough, we move it into buckets just like these. And if you look very closely, there's almost no difference between this and normal soil. You may even think it's soil if I told you so, but nope. 100% pure chicken manure. All right, so we're back at the garden now, for the next stage of the process. So we stopped at the buckets, and let me just show you. I apologize, my bad. We've already emptied the buckets. So when we get to the farm, because the place where we were at is not our actual garden, when we get to the garden, I mean, we store the manure in containers like this. It's a sealed drum so that no water can get inside. It doesn't get cold, so it doesn't get wet anymore, and it just remains usable until we want to use it. And if you look at it, the consistency, you begin to see why we tend toward using manure as fertilizer. Notice it is so soft. It is so soft, and it's this softness that is one of the benefits of using manure actually as a soil base, because manure is very soft, so it easily allows the roots to form. Now, since it's not going to harm the roots because it's dry, there's a lot of nutrients inside the manure like nitrogen, calcium, ammonia, etc. Manure is very nutrient rich, and because this is chicken manure, as you see when we use it in the pots, no weeds, just manure, and the plant grows well, enjoying all that nutrients. Potting isn't the only thing that we use manure for on our farm. We also use it for air layering. So you have sections like this one. Looking closely, okay, roots haven't begun to form. It's a relatively new. Okay, let me show you this one. This is a mature one. Yeah, that's the manure at work, and it works very well. As you can see. They're actually fruiting from the pot. So that's how effective manure is. The moment they start absorbing all those nutrients, oh my goodness, you are going to be one happy farmer. And all we've shown you is guavas. We use it for all different types of plants. For example, we use it for this. Now, I don't know the scientific name or exactly what they call it. Where I live, we call it green. But this is a vegetable plant, potted in manure, it's growing well. Aloe vera, potted in manure, it is growing well. In fact, we have two. Citrus, I believe this is orange. It is growing very well. And since infancy, it has been potted in, you guessed it, manure. This is, we call it berry where we live in, agbalumo. It grows well, potted in manure. Avocado, potted in manure. And lastly, this one, it has a scent of mint. But I don't know what it's called. But it's growing very well, potted in manure. It works for different types of plants. It's very effective. Don't forget to dry it first, or else it will kill your plants. It will literally burn your plants. Dry your manure. Yeah, soil prep. Not so simple, not so quick, not so straightforward, but I mean, in this life, to be honest, it works. That's the important part. So yeah. Now, whether or not you decide to use our method is entirely up to you. We're just sharing for education purposes. However, one thing, if you don't take anything away from this video, take this away. Please, before you plant, take some time to prepare the soil first. All right. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. Once again, this is Garden X. Happy farming.